He's done it!
Throws up the floater.
Oh, astonishing.
Pulls off three-pointer.
All right, guys. I came dressed for a funeral, which is not on brand because it's the first episode of Off the Record. This has been a really long time coming. First of many. So, chat, we're really excited to be live with you today. I'm your host, Bailey Jackson, joined by my lovely co-host, Lachelle Smith. Lachelle, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good, but I don't think it's about me today. I feel like you're having a type of, victory Sunday. How does it feel? You're a Pacers fan. I mean, you're dressed for the funeral of the Knicks already?
I am, dressed in all black. I got the shades. I got the black shirt. I can't forget my Pacers hat.
Oh, you're ready. You were ready to be in the streets of Indy.
I'm ready. I'm in Chicago. For those of you who don't know me, who don't know much about me, I live in Chicago, but I'm born and raised from Indianapolis. So this was a lot. It was a big day for us yesterday as a Pacers fan, 25 years and counting. I was born when the Pacers last made it to the finals. So I've never seen this in my lifetime. 2000 was when we last saw them. It was coincidental that it's kind of the same setup in terms of they beat the Knicks in 6 to advance to the finals, to face the number 1 seed and the MVP. And they're doing the same exact thing this year. I'm happy, to say the least. Go Sirs, go Naptown. I don't know what else you want me to do. I can hit the jig on the live, scream we some indie animals. Chat says yes, sirs, absolutely. But yeah, let's talk to the game real quick. Lachelle, I want to hear your thoughts on last night, the Knicks funeral, the Pacers advancing. Give it to me.
I'm gonna be fair, chat. We're gonna be honest here because I believe in transparency. Did I have the Pacers winning this series? No, I did not. Don't tell Bailey that though, because I could get disowned. I did have Knicks, but I will say the Pacers were the best team in this entire series. I was impressed. I was impressed in game 6. I thought game 5, they gave it away. I would have tried to get the job done early. But game 6, you forced over 34 points in turnovers. They controlled pace. They didn't allow the Knicks to make them play slow. Jalen Brunson was in a chamber with Nembhard most of the game. Despite the fouls, you had Nesmith messed up a little bit with foul trouble. I mean, Cat got into foul trouble, but it really didn't matter. I think Siakam deserved Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I mean, I'll let you speak to that better than me, Bailey, because there's a conversation that some Pacers fans feel like Tyrese was robbed a little bit. But I think Rick Carlisle coached circles around Tibbs the entire series. I mean, well deserved. I mean, well earned. I'm excited for the finals. If you tell me you're not excited, don't talk to me. But I do believe that the Indiana Pacers are the most deserving team in the East right now to be finding themselves in the NBA Finals.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't lie. I mean, I know a lot of people got on me. I did a take earlier where I said Knicks in 6. And I mean, I am a Pacers fan. So it was one of those situations where I had to be kind of put my realist hat on and put the fan hat aside. And I'm never doing that again. I learned my lesson, right? So it's Pacers, and we're going to say 7 for the finals. We'll get into finals predictions here in a second because I do want to continue recapping this game. But very proud of my team. It was a very collective effort, and that's where the Pascal conversation comes into play. He was a huge reason why they were able to win game 2, game 4, game 6. Thomas Bryant stepping up. That's Hoosier, IU, go Thomas. We love to see.
Talk that talk.
Right.
Talk
Representing
that Indiana talk, man.
On some different levels. Yes. So my Hoosiers, I saw some representation from him. He was huge in the third quarter. Aaron Nesmith, I mean, he's proved that he's one of the best players on this roster in this finals. The postseason has been amazing for him. And then, of course, Halliburton. You can't forget him. He's the star of that team.
Sure.
But yeah, like I said, collective effort. The Knicks, I think I want to talk about them for a second. I don't want to focus too much on them, but I do want to talk about them for a second. If they would have played better defensively, they could have won this series. That was their
100%.
biggest downfall. Turnovers last night, costly.
Crazy.
I mean, abysmal. But I mean, I don't care because I'm not a Knicks fan. So it doesn't matter to me. Honestly, turn the ball over however much you want. But yeah, they were struggling defensively. I mean, the Pacers were dictating the speed, especially like once the Knicks scored, they struggled to get get back, and the Pacers were effective at pushing the ball back down the court, on there. And so, yeah, it was interesting. I know some people were also talking about Cat. Specifically, there was something that came out earlier today where players were saying that Cat wasn't taking his defensive role seriously. Did you see that?
I did see a little bit of chatter about that. I was going to ignore it because I don't really like it because that's not why the series was lost. I mean, if we're talking defense, we could put Jalen Brunson in that blender as well. There's sometimes he's not defensively sound either or knowing his rotations. I did see that about Cat. Was Cat getting cooked a little bit defensively at times? Yes.
Yeah.
Did he look a little confused at times? Yes, but that's not why they lost the series. I think I'd put more blame on Tibbs and not actually in 82 games using a rotation of your bench and waiting till you're down 2-0 to be like, oh, let me try to find a rotation and something that works. Like, that's why the series was lost, and then sloppiness with the ball. But I mean, Cat wasn't great defensively, but he's not the only one.
No, absolutely. And if it weren't for Cat, honestly, that series would have been reduced to 5 games or
Hello.
less. So, I mean, we have to give Cat some credit. I know people are like saying, what is it? After all that, after all that, and that's where you guys end up, is back in New York with no advance to the finals. But anyways,
God.
so let's jump into the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, Pascal Siakam. I know there's some conversation about, did he deserve it? Did he not? I want to touch on, there's a clip of Tyrese. It's like that Drewski moment from NBA All-Star where Rome Flynn ended up winning and Drewski thought he was going to get it. It was like that, where Tyrese was fully prepared to
He
go
was
up
ready.
there and accept that award. And I think a lot of us were too. Like, I mean, no brainer that it would be Halliburton, just because Halliburton is, I mean, he obviously, he's had some big moments in the finals. He is the star of that team. He's the face of the franchise. So I know a lot of us were kind of thinking, oh, like Halliburton, Halliburton, Halliburton. And then Pascal got it. I honestly want to know what Tyrese thinks about that. Like, I mean, we haven't heard a reaction from him. Of course, I'm sure he's going to be like, oh yeah, that's my guy. He deserves it. He played, great, great 6 games, yada, yada, yada. But I already said I think he deserves it. Like I said, in game 2, game 4, game 6, like, he's the reason why they won. Want to hear your thought, chat. I also want to include y'all in this conversation too. Did you think that award should have gone to Pascal, or should it have gone to Tyrese?
I hope chat picks the right thing because I'm all for Siakam getting it. I mean, he was the most consistent player, I feel like, for the Pacers throughout this series. And then recency bias is a real deal. Like, chat, like, if you say Tyrese, it's for a good reason. He is the superstar. He had some really big games. But like, voters, you kind of are only as good as your last game. And I think that game 5, him only having 8 points, made voters be like, can we really give it to you now when you had like that historic game and then you come to game 5 and you kind of play pretty bad and like it's a really bad drop off? So I feel like that's the only reason why he really lost it. If he had a pretty decent game 5, I do believe the trophy would have been his. But I think that game 5 kind of cemented it, where it's like, well, Siakam's been pretty even kill, double digits throughout this entire playoff series, plus 3 30-point games. If you're a voter, I'm taking Siakam.
I see the chat saying, Hallie for sure went from huge triple double to 5 points. I can't ignore that. And you made some great points about game 5. So I think we're all kind of in agreement that definitely went to Pascal, not went to Pascal, but it deserved to go to him. With that being said, does that mean Finals MVP goes to Halliburton? So let's transition a little bit into Finals predictions. Coming off of, this wonderful Eastern Conference Finals that we just got to witness, and we now have kind of quick turnaround time with game 1 being on Monday, tomorrow, I believe, correct?
I think it's Thursday.
Is it do they
I
have
think on
more
the
time?
5th. I think they gave him more
Oh,
time.
okay,
This
okay.
whole conference finals was horrible with timing because it was like a game they didn't even have a break. So yeah, I think they gave him a few more days.
Okay. So, anyways, we've got, I guess, a little bit of time before, we witness this OKC Pacers matchup. We know game 1 is going to be in Oklahoma City, as well as game 2, and then it goes back to Indy for 3 and 4. What are you thinking? Is it Pacers in 4, 5, 6, 7? Is it OKC in 4, 5, 6, 7? Like, what do we got? What do we got?
I got Thunder in 6. And the six is kind of being a little bit generous. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's not gonna be a sweep. I'm not gonna say that. I think that's super disrespectful. It's not gonna be a sweep. I do believe it's six for the Thunder. I don't know. It's the teams match up more evenly than I think people realize. And I said it going into it. If you're the Thunder, I would rather the Knicks win than have the Pacers win because you're talking about two top offensive scoring teams. Pacers can play defense and they have the size and the length to do it, but I do believe that they played a little bit more inconsistent at times. So it's like bench is the same to me. I feel like they both have super depth. How they like to play, it's very much mid range. I would also give the Pacers kind of a little bit edge offensively just because they are a 3-point shooting team. That's something that they actually implement. Whereas like the Thunder, it's a little bit touch and go depending on what the defense is looking like. I have Thunder in six. I'm on the SGA bandwagon right now. I don't know. I don't like the foul merchant narrative, and they don't want to make him the face of the league because he's Canadian. So I'm on the Thunder right now. I'm sorry, Pacers fans. Sorry, Bailey.
I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. Um, I said it up front that I'm not ever gonna root against the Pacers again because clearly I was wrong for Eastern Conference Finals. I do think that this is gonna be a more challenging matchup than what they have faced up to this point. I it's hard because it's like again, I want to put that realist hat on.
Mhm.
But I just can't I can't root against the Pacers. I'm gonna say Pacers in seven because like I said, I just don't think it's gonna be an easy matchup for them. I mean, you've got the way that OKC shut down Ant is what scares me. It's like if
Mhm.
they could do the same thing, if they could do that to him, they could do the same thing to the Pacers and specifically Halliburton. Um, but yeah, like I said, Pacers in seven. We're gonna roll with my team, roll with my team. We're gonna go ahead and transition into our next segment, and that is Zion Williamson. There's been some conversation surrounding him. Recently, a lawsuit came out saying that he was accused of sexual assault. It's filed by a woman who's claiming to be his former girlfriend. According to the lawsuit, Zion, I guess, allegedly had a pattern of abusive and controlling and threatening behaviors. His legal team released a statement basically saying that the allegations are false, detailing that this woman has tried extorting him in the past and that Zion will be filing counterclaims and he will be seeking significant damages for the defamatory lawsuit. Um, I'm just going to start off by saying I'm just tired of seeing Zion in the news for non-basketball things.
Hmm.
I don't even really want to harp too much on about this case itself because we don't know what's true and what's not. It's just that, like I said, the focus for me is why is it time after time after time that we keep seeing him, whether it's about his weight, whether it's about the Mariah Mills situation, whether it's about the baby that he's having with
Mhm.
somebody who is not supposedly his girlfriend, or the missing the team activities, not being committed. It's just like one thing after the other, and it's a lot of drama centered around Zion. I'm kind of at a point where I'm questioning, is this starting to define who he is? It seems like the off-court
Mhm.
narratives are becoming more of a topic of conversation, like I said, than the on-court stuff. I want to get your opinion on that, chat. I also want to hear what y'all think about the Zion situation. LaShawn, I'm gonna let you start off though.
I think it's just an unfortunate thing. I think I'm with you. Like, I'm kind of burnt out on anything that doesn't have to do with basketball when speaking on Zion Williamson. I think we were kind of already tired of it a little bit basketball wise. You had injuries that he can't control, but then they're saying the injuries are because he was overweight, all these things. And now we have this. And because of the severity of the situation, and how the NBA kind of still has to keep dealing with this. And I don't think that they've done a good job in trying to hold players accountable for allegations like this. I would tell chat, best thing you could do to probably understand this situation even better is to go watch AJ Brown's YouTube. He has a thing called Peaches and Cream, and he talked about specifically why athletes keep getting in situations like this. Very, very deep conversation from a man who is a Super Bowl champion, has the money, has the access, the power, the fame, and knows what it really looks like. It allowed me to look at it from a different perspective, that a lot of this is just carelessness. A lot of it is lack of self control. A lot of it is character issues. And like you said, Bailey, it's like we're hearing things that have nothing to do with basketball. over and over and over and over. And when you are getting paid millions and millions of dollars, it is fair for people to get kind of sick and tired of hearing what is happening that has nothing to do with your job. And things like this aren't something you gloss over, but it is sad. It really sucks, especially when you look at just his rise and kind of this fall that he's kind of in. Really hoping that he figures it out in the long run, how the NBA handles this. I mean, it's really serious. It's really uncomfortable in a way because it's just like, why? Why are these things happening? Why do they keep happening? But hopefully it gets figured out.
Yeah, absolutely. And you brought up a good point. It's like, how does the NBA handle this? At what point does a team step in? What point does the league step in? It's like
Mm-hmm.
we've seen other cases where they've taken more action, they've taken less action. I think, excuse me, this is a situation where it's like you don't know what's true and what's not true. So it's hard for anybody, I feel like, to really step in and, do anything about it. Of course, these are very serious allegations and these should be handled accordingly. But yeah, it's one of those things I'm hoping, with time it pans out and, the justice is served, whether it's justice for Zion and, clearing his name, whether it's justice for the woman and go from there. But just get back to a place where we're talking about Zion for basketball reasons. That is all I am wanting. We're gonna go ahead and hop into our third segment of the day, and that's talking about Caitlin Clark. We're gonna switch to the WNBA. She's out with a quad injury, and some people are purposely boycotting the W while she's gone, which I think is crazy. But coincidentally, yeah, lame, literally. L's in the chat. L's in the chat. Coincidentally, numbers are down. Viewership dropped about 39% on NBA TV after her injury. Prices for the Fever Sky game, which is arguably the biggest game of the season for them, dropped 71%. Ticket prices in general have dropped for other Fever games as well. Chat, we all know that Clark is a huge marketing tactic for her team and for the league, but did you expect this? LaShawn, I'm going to let you answer that question.
Sadly, yes. I think the sad part about the conversation, the narrative about it is this is the league's fault a little bit. When you sit there and you put all this attention on one person, and I think what the league miscalculated is that we've told you over and over again that these people are Caitlin Clark fans. They are not actual W fans. So if she's not playing, this is the result that you're getting because you haven't made a conscious effort to make sure that you're marketing everybody else. NFL doesn't have this issue. Patrick Mahomes could not play 2-3 games. People are still going to watch Lamar Jackson. They're going to go watch Josh Allen. Like, fans are still going to be tuned in regardless of what's going on. Kansas City Chiefs fans are still going to watch divisional rivals. Why in the W is this a problem? And I think it is a league issue. Obviously, it's not a her problem. Like, she hasn't been hurt at all. In terms of college, she didn't really miss a game. Didn't really miss a game her rookie year either. So this is uncomfortable for her even dealing with this. But when you have a viewership drop like they had and the ticket sales, that's embarrassing.
Yeah. And I'm curious to know, I know you brought in like just marketing tactics. Because one of the thoughts that popped in my mind, and I'm asking you this question as well. Is this a wake-up call for the league to start marketing other stars more aggressively? I think the obvious answer is yes, right? Because I mean, you have a whole plethora of people that have a great fan base. Asia Wilson, Sabrina Ionescu, Stewie. I mean, there's so many more people I could name. With that being said, who do you think the league should be prioritizing, or do you just think that there should be a greater overall marketing effort from the WNBA? I know that's something that they've historically struggled with, so this is no overnight fix, but I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on what a quick, solution could be, or maybe even a long-term solution is.
Bailey, that's such a great question. And I feel like there is no one-stop shop fix, and it makes it hard. I would say overall, they need to have a better marketing strategy and getting multiple players. The hard part about that is Caitlin came to the W with a fan base that wasn't reliant on the W. So she's like kind of this anomaly a little bit where it's like, oh, well, she had this fan base before she even got in this league. So like technically we're reaping more from her than she is from us in a marketing standpoint. Whereas these other players, they are leaning on the W to be able to market them to that caliber. Unless you have like an Asia Wilson who has a sold out shoe, or Sabrina Ionescu who also has a great shoe, and you know their brands are pushing them, but that's not the reality for everybody else. So if you're the league, there has to be a conscious effort to say, okay, who can we push to the forefront? There should be 10 plus players, high caliber players that you could say, let's make them faces of the league. We talk about that in the NBA all the time. Who's the face of the league? Who's the next one to come up? Oh, it's these five. Well, why isn't that a conversation when we're really talking about the W? It's always usually one person, and it's like, well, Asia or Sabrina, well, Stewie was on. It's like, okay, like there needs to be a collective effort to say, we need to have more people that we can market so this doesn't happen. It's different if you say, oh, viewership dropped because they just stopped watching Fever games because she was hurt. Then one, you're not a real Fever fan. So start there. Just going to let that be known. If you are not watching your team play because one person is hurt, you are not an actual fan. Hope y'all know that. You're not a fan of that team then. So if you're the W, it needs to be a collective effort to start pushing the individuals, because it's obvious that a lot of the fans in the W right now that are new are not team oriented. They're more person oriented. So that's on the league.
Chat, clip that, because Lachelle just spit bars. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Is that we've seen a lot of people enter this fan base, but it's like it's not really a true team fan base. It's a player fan base, or like you said, it's a broad spectrum of just like we're watching the W because it's kind of the popular thing to do, or like we're interested, we want to tune in, right? So if you're not watching because one player is out, then like you said, you're not a real fan. I think that's a conversation that needs to be had a little bit more. I know some people in the chat are saying that Arike would be a great league push. She is fun to watch. I think that
she's
would be
so fun, so fun to watch.
That's a good one. I mean, there's, like I said, there's so many players. The league it's not limited. I know we've spit out a few names. It's not limited to those ladies. This is a very talented league that we're watching. It's just the W, like I said, has struggled for years and years and years when it comes to marketing. This is just kind of another blip in their radar that they need to iron out. And I think this is a good wake up call for them. It's like you can't rely on CC. You can't. You just can't. I am curious to know, Michelle, from your perspective, chat, chime in on this as well. How do you think these reactions reflect the larger challenges of growing women's sports?
Oh, again, it's such a long, like we could make a thesis on it. Like we could give a TED talk on it, right? But I think it just shows the real challenge. It goes back to what we said earlier. It really is marketing. Like, I know that sounds so easy and so simple, but that really is what it is. Like, you kind of have to force feed people the things that they don't know they need yet. And sometimes you don't know what you need till you get it. Did anyone think that they would actually be a Caitlin Clark fan her freshman year of college? No. And if you sit there in the chat and say you were, you're not telling the truth. Like, she catapulted her junior year. Then the storylines. I think when you look at women's sports, that's the thing. Her success really does come from how good she is at basketball. And that allows it to be almost a purity to her fandom because it is reliant on her sport. So if you're talking about other women's sports and athletes, it has to be the same thing. Like, you are so good. How can I not be a fan of you? How can I not watch when you're on my TV? How can I not be tuned in and glued? How can I not be in the debates and the conversations if someone says that their favorite player is better than you? That's where it all starts. It has to go back to the foundation of, well, why are these people really popular? Well, it's because they're amazing at their sport. That's what we love. We love watching them do what they do at the highest level possible. So if you're in a women's sports marketing room, I would be like, you just got to force feed what we're seeing here. We got to show them this is what they're missing and give them a variety. So when someone does get hurt, you don't all of a sudden turn your TV off and then you don't know what's going on for 2 whole weeks. But then you want to sit there and yell and shout and spit in people's face about how this person and this team, and you haven't even watched them in 2 weeks because of one person. Like, you have to have an effort of variety. And I think that goes across for women's sports in general, with softball, with volleyball, I mean, gymnastics, swimming. It all starts at grassroots, high school, college. It has to just be more of an intention.
Spam W's in the chat.
Chat, don't get
spam W's in the chat.
I went to church this morning, chat. Like, if we had an organ, we could get an organ.
No, we need that Speedy Mormon cue where the gospel music starts playing. But yeah, nah, chat, spam W's for Lachelle because that was a great take. I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, I can't even add anything more to that because you hit every single point. Chat, keep spamming W's. That was amazing. I'm gonna leave it there. I think we hit the Caitlin Clark conversation on the head. Lachelle, take us to our next segment. This is arguably my favorite part of the show. Chat, I'm so excited for you to engage with us. What do we got going on?
Chat, I'm excited. I'm gonna talk really low because if I get super, super excited, I'm gonna start yelling. Okay, chat. We have the hotlines open. We want you to call us. Don't be sitting there and you've been in the chat, you and listen to us, and now you're scared to talk. Don't do it. Don't do it. I don't like it. Have some confidence. Call us with your hot take. If you have a question, please don't let it be bad. That's all I'm going to ask. I'm going to give you the number. If you are an audio learner, we are going to put it in the chat for you to have 312-626-6799. After you hit call, they're going to tell you put a code in. The code is 885-4089-5929 and hit the pound sign. Call us. Lines are open. We're trying to hear from y'all. Don't be quiet now. Don't get shy on us now.
All right, looks like we got our first caller.
Yep.
Let's see. Caller number 1. Can you hear us?
Oh, yes. Are you this Bailey Jackson Sports?
This is Bailey Jackson Sports. Who am I talking to?
I'm just making sure I got the pin right because I thought my big A fingers done pressed the wrong numbers or something.
No, you're good. Who are we talking to right now?
You are talking to Maverick the Enigma, a fellow streamer on Twitch, but I'm not here to self-promo. I just saw you in the Pacers hat, and I figured I'd just jump in and chime in and just, see what you fabulous young ladies were talking about in terms of sports, because I am a firm believer that more and more ladies need to dive into the sports like NBA, NFL, boxing, UFC, whatever it is, because the sport is much, much more rich to enjoy when there's a lot of people watching awesome things happen. That's just how I feel.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words. Thank you for joining us for our first stream. Also, shout out you. Go ahead and put your streamer tag. Say it again for everybody.
Maverick the Enigma. In fact, I'm just gonna say hi next to my name. Look.
Beautiful. All right, guys, go spam W's in the chat for Maverick. Maverick, give us your hot take of the week. And we're gonna give you some grace, but we're also gonna go in on you if your take is trash. But let's hear what you got. What's the hot take of the week?
I want all the smoke.
Okay.
I'm gonna come in swinging.
Okay, we're ready.
I'm gonna throw a current hot take and a long-term hot take. Hot take number 1. I honestly believe that the Pacers have a strong chance at upsetting the Thunder. That's my hot take. Because I know the Thunder's the heavy favorite right now, but I think Halliburton is that guy.
Okay.
Halliburton is that guy.
Okay. So let me ask you this real quickly. I feel like I already know the answer, but there's some conversation around Halliburton being, overrated. What do you think? Overrated, underrated? Is he right where he needs to be? You think Halliburton's that guy? Like, tell me what you think about him.
I mean, well, as much as Hallie had in times past gotten by off of the opposing teams against him having injury luck, and several other factors, him being traded to a great situation in Indiana. My thing is, are any of those things in his control, or can he just get down there and just play the game with whomever and make his teammates look like stars? Because in basketball, injuries are going to be a part of the game. What the front office does is a part of the game. As long as you are in the court and you are balling, you good in my eyes. Is Halliburton not averaging a double-double with the points and assist totals he's been averaging lately? The guy's been balling. Did you see his almost game winner against the Knicks? He's been balling. If you ask me if he's overrated, I don't think he's overrated. To me, I always thought Hallie was at least a top 5 in his position.
That's fair.
Borderline top 3.
Okay. Who's ahead of him then?
Oh, the top 3. See, had me at top 5, and then we went a little too deep to top 3.
Yeah. Who's ahead and who's behind Hallie? I'm just curious.
Okay. Borderline. Okay.
Borderline.
He's teetering. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. Don't cook me too hard, ladies.
I just had to make sure. I was with you with top 5. Okay. See, that's my fault. Okay. We still in the shallow with the top 3. I'm just making sure we're still aligned.
Right. As far as who's ahead of him, nobody's touching Shea right now. I got Luka ahead of him. And then, contrary to popular opinion, I actually had Brunson ahead of him for a little while because Brunson averaged more points during the regular season. But as of right now, I think he just leaps past Brunson because, Ty is just that clutch now. You know what I'm saying? But, and as far as other point guards are concerned, like, you obviously got to throw Curry somewhere in there. I don't think, anybody, like, unless your name is SGA or Luka, I don't think you're better than Curry right now because Curry is aging, but he's still able to play at a high level despite all the backlash and the jokes about his bad ankles and all of that. He's still able to, not only wow us with his amazing shooting, but, his all-around playmaking, his leadership. You can't knock the brother for carrying the Warriors on his back for as long as he has. So for that, he has to be solidified top 3.
All right. Okay. I respect that.
I accept it.
Yeah. You got 2 thumbs up.
And then Halliburton is just right below. And then Brunson is right behind Halliburton. That's how
I like that.
That's how I see it.
That's fair. That's a good ranking. I
Darius Garland is 6th place.
Dang. Okay, honorable mention for DG then. Honorable mentions. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna do another long-term hot take.
All right, give it to us.
Bron is not the GOAT.
All right, get off the phone.
All right, yep.
Get off.
It's time for the next caller.
I won't take this slander. I won't take it, chat. I won't take it.
He's top 7 dead or alive though. I'll give him that.
We're not gonna do this.
All right, we might have to boot you, Maverick. It was amazing having you join us. It's time for you to go though. We did not.
Pacers in 6. That's all I'm gonna say.
Pacers in 6. Amen. All right. Have a good one.
I'm sorry. He chat. Y'all see that meme when the person has the sword in the whole like armies? I will defend Bron in the GOAT conversation. Please don't get me started.
All right.
I will do it.
I'm dead. No, yeah, that's fair. I know we got some what do they call them? Bronze sexuals out there. I feel like,
they're crazy.
Yeah,
they're crazy.
So I understand satisfying that itch.
He didn't even believe it himself because he started laughing. Once he started laughing, I knew he didn't really believe it. He just wanted to. It was for fun. It was for fun. It's okay, Matt. We appreciate you having the courage to be our first caller. We're gonna admit one more person in here. Looks like we got a 317 number. I have a feeling this is gonna be a Pacers fan. Who we got?
Hey, what up? It's your boy FHMG Skywalker. I'm here in the chat. How y'all doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm straight. I'm hearing all the talk of these games. And let's get back on Pacers talk. We talk about LeBron right now. We talk about the Pacers.
I respect it. I want to talk about the Pacers.
Right. So, I mean, my point of view, y'all got to understand, right? So, I'm in that right now. You feel me? Okay. And we lit. Y'all heard me? We lit down here. They haven't been to the finals since Reggie. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And at the same time, of course, y'all see Siakam. He was going with 20, 30, but he didn't do it alone. You see what I'm saying? That boy Hallie had double doubles, triple doubles. He was taking that. You see what I'm saying? So I understand what y'all saying, but I think both of them deserve it. The Pacers deserve to be there. They are young and they run fast break nonstop. A lot of teams can't run with that. They tired. So if you got Williams and SGA and that's all y'all got, Nembhard's not soft. Nembhard will put pressure on somebody. Them boys got D on the Pacers. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they could do it. It all depends on who's going to say. We know he's a good player. We know it's about to be a game. We're not just about to get swept, though, because y'all thought that with the last 2-3 teams we ran through.
I'm with you. A sweep not happening, but I guess my question back to you would be, so what you gonna do on the high pick and roll? Because we know Hallie and the Pacers love the pick and roll. That's how he get going. What you gonna do? So man, gotta keep switching. Lou Dort, J Dub.
Right now, that's
do?
right. Now that's where the problem come in at, because I love the Pacers, but we need to get rid of Miles Turner. I don't care who we got. We can get Zubac. Anybody that will get the boards. Anybody that will grab some boards, because he refuses to grab any rebounds.
He do refuse, but dang, he been in the trenches with y'all. How
yeah,
you
that's
like
been
that?
a key part. He's been
know
with
he
us for
been
so
there.
long.
Everybody get their time. It's time for him. It's time for him to move on. You feel me?
Whoa.
He don't be prioritizing rebounds.
He don't be doing nothing down there. You are too big. You are 7 foot, boy. Ain't no way you're not grabbing no rebounds. How? Come on, feel me? So that's my only fear, is that, you know what I'm saying, we don't, when it comes to the switch, I just feel like he's going to get beat up down there. But besides that, man, we got other killers, though. Hallie really be throwing that Dino. He really be passing it, y'all. And as long as we got Siakam, Hallie, and them couple other little players that come in and they get 10, 12 points apiece, man, we will end up winning.
I don't know. I'm a little worried. I feel like you simplifying it, but that defense for OKC, they got active hands. They sit in that gap.
Yeah, they do.
The minute you turn your back, you got Caruso coming for a steal. Jada, I don't know. I'm with you. But like that defense, they're the right defense to try to limit Hallie from getting his assists. Cause like he is a pass first guard, but like that's being active with your hands in the gaps, making sure. I mean, the Knicks are horrible at defense, but I mean, Thunder got Hallie gonna have somebody like to keep switching. And first you got J-Dub, then you gotta go with Lou Dort. Then you're going to sit there and see if the scores table. Wallace finna come in. Caruso finna come in. Man, he might be a little worn out like Ant was.
Yeah, I feel you, but we got the Pacers. We got God on our side right now. This is written.
Amen.
This is written right here. I don't care about none of that. I don't care about in this we don't care about none. We don't care about none of the shade, nothing. We chosen to be here right now. See, now it's going to be shocking if y'all see the Pacers put their work in. And when y'all see us up, everybody they're going to be shocked. So don't just be shocked. You feel me? No Pacers.
I'm with you. You just put us on notice. I'm with you. I'm with you. God on y'all side. Who am I to ever doubt what God will do?
Yeah, come on.
Amen.
It's nap time. It's nap time. That's where I'm at. I'm in Indy. We about to turn up. We lit out here.
I hope you go get lit this rest of this Sunday.
No, absolutely. Pacers. What did you say? Pacers in 6? What was your prediction?
With me, I'll probably say Pacers in 6. It could go to 7. It's going to be a war.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it'll be a good one for sure. We appreciate you calling Naptown Stand Up. We appreciate the representation as well. Thank you for joining us. We are going to go ahead and call it a night, chat. This has been a great first stream. We appreciate all 7,400 of y'all.
Huh?
Yeah. 7,400 of y'all.
Man, y'all might be all right with me, dog. Y'all might be all right with me, man. So how is that many of y'all and y'all didn't want to keep calling?
No,
I'll be quiet. I'll be thankful. I love y'all.
It was a good first stream. Spam W's in the chat for the stream. Spam W's in the chat for our callers, man. That took a lot of confidence and courage to do that. But we encourage y'all every week to come in to our stream to have a conversation with us, listen to what we've got to say. We are here live on Twitch every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific. So make sure to hit that sub or follow button. If you miss part of the stream, you know where to find us. We're going to be on YouTube. We post the the stream that is live every Sunday. It goes on YouTube Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. Thank you so much for joining. W's chat, we appreciate you. Till next time, we out.